barking from an invisible dog, laughter from a child who isn't there, and phantom music drifting through empty halls. We found all of that, and more, at one of the strangest places we've ever investigated. After years of investigating reportedly haunted locations, I've learned to separate genuine anomalies from wishful thinking. But the Villa Kathrine in Quincy, Illinois, this place challenged everything I thought I knew about residual hauntings. Hello friends, my name is Marcia, and this is Midwest Ghost Hunters. At first glance, the Villa Kathrine doesn't look like it belongs in the Midwest. Perched above the Mississippi River, this Moroccan-style mansion, the locals just call it the castle, was built in 1902 by a man named W. George Metz. He had money, eccentric tastes, and a reputation for being, well, complicated. Inside, the place has a full harem room, a courtyard with a reflecting pool, and balconies where George supposedly hung rich tapestries during the warmer months. Originally, the courtyard was open to the sky, but it was roofed over sometime after 1914. The house was originally bright white, but later painted a sandstone color during restoration work by a local preservation group. Some say George named the place for a mysterious woman, but according to period newspapers, it was actually named in honor of his mother. George lived large. He was known for throwing lavish parties, but his closest companion wasn't a person. It was a 212-pound iron-gray Great Dane named Bingo. Now, depending on who you ask, Bingo was either a gentle giant who loved kids or a four-legged menace. One newspaper account even described him attacking the neighbors' dogs. George apparently had zero control over him. Bingo died in 1909 and is buried on the highest point of the property. George himself was described as polite, but didn't exactly win popularity contests. He once had his neighbor's 5 ducks arrested for trespassing. Yep, you heard that right. He had them put in jail. The ducks, not the neighbors. George traveled often. Germany, Norway, Denmark, Cuba. He was in Sweden when World War I broke out. Despite the folklore about him being some kind of wealthy entrepreneur, my research suggests he bounced from job to job until he inherited his family's fortune. He studied carpentry in Chicago, worked as a bookkeeper in Peoria, and then shifted into real estate after his mother passed. That's when the money started really flowing. His father, a pharmacist turned real estate investor, left him a fortune worth about $1.3 million in today's money. After that, George never worked again. Then things got really weird, even by George's standards. Though long considered a lifelong bachelor, records show that at the age of 61, George married 19-year-old Bessie Roan in 1909. By the next spring, she was gone, and he had a new 19-year-old companion named Cecil Otto. In 1902 Illinois, this wasn't just scandalous, it was dangerous. Some locals whispered that George's secrets might have died with him. Most haunted spots have a resident spirit. At the Villa Kathrine, that might be Bingo. Visitors have reported hearing barking, dog tags jingling, and other sounds you'd expect from a very large dog. Only there's no dog there. Now, phantom dog sounds might seem easy to dismiss, but here's what makes Bingo's case compelling. Multiple witnesses describe the same specific details: heavy paws on wooden floors, the distinct jingle of large dog tags, and even the sound of panting. That level of consistency across unconnected witnesses is significant. Even I heard what clearly sounded like dog tags jingling when we first arrived. There are also reports of a woman speaking German in the basement, and more recently the voice of a young child. People have also heard strange music drifting through the house, especially late at night. We investigated the villa on a pleasant fall evening in October. With all the reflective glass inside, we didn't use our static cams, but we did our usual full sweep, focusing on baseline readings before we investigated the reported hotspots. Initially, I had 3 theories. It was either residual energy from George's eccentric lifestyle, the emotional imprint of Bingo's loyalty, or environmental factors that was creating auditory illusions. What we captured changed my perspective entirely. Most of the reported activities in the basement, but we picked up EVPs in other areas too, including the second-floor office and the harem room. I always tell people, EVPs can be tricky. Your mind wants to hear words in random noise, but when we analyzed our recordings, we found clear voice patterns that didn't match environmental sounds. While we didn't catch German, we did capture voices, music, and laughter from a child we couldn't see. Because I don't put much stock in psychics. So now they say there's a little girl here. Who might that little girl be? May I take your picture one more time? It didn't quite take. I just heard music. So can you tell me who you are and what your connection to the house might be? If I were to go back, I'd focus more on the basement stairwell where the children were heard. The acoustics down there can either amplify natural sounds or capture genuine paranormal audio. Sometimes the best evidence comes from the most uncomfortable places. After investigating dozens of locations, I can tell you the Villa Kathrine is different. The evidence we captured, combined with the consistent witness reports, suggests that something genuinely anomalous is happening there. Whether it's George still hosting his eternal parties, Bingo still guarding his master, or something else entirely, this place earned its reputation. Is it haunted? Based on my experience, I'd have to say yes, but don't take my word for it. If you're ever near Quincy, go see for yourself. Just don't be surprised if you hear barking from a dog that isn't there. So what's your take on animal spirits? Have you ever experienced paranormal activity from a beloved pet? Drop your stories in the comments. Some of the most compelling evidence I've encountered came from viewers sharing their experiences. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and may the truth reveal itself in the shadows.